I can't find my remote either for the lights. I don't know what I did with it. I was looking everywhere. The only
Hello,
way
everyone.
play.
How's it going tonight?
Hey everybody, what's up? What's up? What's up?
What's up? What's up? Boom,
The voice of Mo.
I gotta shove this so I can listen up here.
All right, all right, all right, all right. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Wednesday, and we do shadow work on Wednesdays. We used to do it on Brother Thomas's channel, but now we do it over here because you know he got sick. We kept it rolling, but I got a little too comfortable, so I don't know. Anyway, we're here. How is everybody doing? I want everybody to be extra careful of this one that just popped up in chat, Mr. Well, I call him Biggins, but as y'all grow to love him, Gens, y'all will know him as Ben. His name is Ben, and he has been my brother since, well, 35 years, 30 years, 30 plus years. Wow. Holy crap. Long time. Long, long time. 35 years plus, I think. Anyway, I don't know about doing all the math and shit like that. What's up, Angie? What's up, Brother Joe? Hey, 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 Tiffany. What's up, my beautiful peoples? How is everybody tonight? All right, so tonight what we are doing is a spread we haven't done on my channel at all. We used to do it on Brother Thomas's channel on Wednesdays. This is a journal required spread due to the fact that it is shadow work. This is one of those heavy hitters. It is intended to make you think. Take the notes that feel like you need to understand them deeper. And remember to comment, like, do all the YouTubey things. So, whoo! How are
So
you,
she's got
Brother Thomas?
17 more until she hits 800. So if you haven't subscribed to Hershey, the Shadow Reader, please do so.
Please do. All right, so one quick thing. It's Wednesday, so it is Maruta's day. Maruta is your placekeeper tonight, Gems. If you want to get on that list, when she opens the list, all you got to say is me. So, and then if you need anything else in the chat, you can ask any of the moderators, or specifically if it is about the read tonight, then you can absolutely ask Maruta. She is going to be your placekeeper. If you need to step away, if you need to answer the phone or whatever, she will hold your place in line, so to speak. She is your placekeeper for tonight. As I said, so tonight, so this spread I created, oh God, over 2 years ago, but about 18 or 19 months ago, we tried it on Brother Thomas's channel. Um, I like to create spreads when it comes to real shadow work, right? So this one is called the Wounded Warrior spread. And then I'm working with everything. And so after talking to my editor, hi Rose, we did some quick changing and critiquing. So the first three of this six step card spread is the light of day. We use that term several times when we do shadow work because 9 times out of 10, Thomas is reading from that conscience area. What right now are you picking at? He has a lot of things that he has overcome. He is truly a man that has faced a lot of fears in his life and come a long way. So he is not one that is scared to look into himself and be transparent. And that's what Wednesdays are about. You're in a safe place on this channel, and every single person that comes here knows that. Hi, Rossi. Hi, Lulu. Hi, everybody. Hi, 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 hi. It is so good to see you guys. So anyway, Brother Thomas, do you want to kind of explain where we were at when we were sitting there that day trying to figure out what we were going to do and how many hours we spent is irrelevant practicing it, but what did you mean when your first three originally was the wound, the fester, and the scar. When originally in its original form, what did you mean when you wanted that to be the base of this?
Well, the wound, we all are products of a wounded childhood. I mean, some people have a great childhood, but just being human and being with other children, you're subjected to taunts and torments. If even if your family is a blessing and a blessed family. So we all carry past wounds with us, and festers. Um, sometimes you want to do something about it, but you just you hold things in, and the more you hold things in, the more likely it is to bubble out. So if you don't deal with it immediately, things fester up, and then the scab is finally you're not being picked at anymore. Um, you're starting to heal.
So I was backstage, or well, just before I went backstage, I had ran the spread by my editor that's helping me with a book and a deck that I am trying to get out. So I wanted to make sure that it was appropriate, right? I have to be cautious. I tend to sometimes get a little harsh or skip some steps, some shortcuts because I found them in life, but not everybody has found them in life. So she made sure that I understood that part because I forgot that part, right? So for number one, we have the wound, the fester, and the cauterize. So the cauterize is brand new to the spread after all these years. It was needed, right? It's not that I ever went back and looked at the other reads, but it was needed, and I didn't know it was needed after I kind of understood what that meant, right? And then I thought about, well, how many times I was right there in that spot, and it was more than one time, right? So 1, 2, and 3 will be done by Thomas, which is the wound, the fester, and the cauterize. 4, 5, and 6. So 4 is kind of it's about your perception, right? So it can be the scab or the scar, right? It could be something that is just now starting to heal, or I could be seeing more like a scar that you have learned to wear, or maybe you're just not quite wearing the scar well and you're hiding it, or you're doing your best to cover it up because maybe you're not so proud of that scar yet. 5 is your honor and your shame, and this is of the 4, right? So this is how are you in it? Are you honoring it, or is it still a disowned part of you? Is it still a part of you that maybe you don't even know is there? Is it lying deeply in that unconscious or that subconscious, and it just really doesn't get triggered enough for you to understand that it could be hindering you, slowing you down, or bringing something in your present current world a hard time? And number 6, that is really just the experiences that you're gaining as you're going through the healing, right? So when it comes to shadow work, you cannot do it by going around it, over it. You must go through it. Going over it just means that you're always going to do it over and over and over again, and you're always going to get the same thing you always got. So you have to actually go through it if you actually want to heal from it. So this one, like many of them that we do on Wednesdays, it's not like we're going to expose anything that is private, right? If it feels to us like you may need to talk to somebody and we see something that maybe could not sit real comfortably well just being heard publicly, Thomas and I will immediately say that. Neither one of us will expose anything, and anyone that ever comes in on our shows on Wednesdays, this is a safe place, so there's no nitpicking, there's no biased opinions here. So I want everybody to feel comfortable. I want everybody that's on those list to get them notebooks ready. We do have our first list up. Thank you, Maruda. You are so wonderful. So our first list starts with Tiffany. So we have Tiffany, Rossi, Magic, and Angie. And then after that, I will find another one. There's only 10 slots, and remember, they fill up quick, guys. So if you want to get on that list, you go right ahead. If you want to make a donation, get with any of the other moderators. They will drop links. If you need emails for Thomas and I, we both do private readings. Sometimes just reach out to us. You know, a smile and a thank you goes so much farther than you think it does. So if it resonates, let us know. We would appreciate it anyway. Like I said, even a thank you, or it resonated, or if you want to tell us the story of something that we think we see in our reads, because it happens quite a bit. So if I think I'm ready. Are you ready, bro?
Okay, so Tiffany, we start out with your wound, and we're starting out with Hershey's Nemesis card from the tarot, the Hierophant. And what this tells me the wound might be for you is that organized religion or a sense of religious duty may have been forced upon you, and that might not have been the way you saw the world. You may have been like a spiritual person instead of um, a church attending, by the book kind of person. So just warring with that on maybe a week to week basis. Um, it just didn't sit with your core values. Um, your fester, um, I think, was maybe a family promise, Ace of Pentacles, that they might have forced you into um, those institutions and made you attend, and you may have really kind of resented that you had to be a participant in it. What can help you cauterize this wound and staunch the blood flow and make it begin to heal? Um, is just This is Oracle of the Seven Energies, and this card is called Broken Open. So you just had to have that cathartic cry and just say no more, and be your own person and establish your authority, and make it bend to your will instead of maybe the outside pressures of family or religious dogma. And that's for the conscious side.
I ain't ready yet. Y'all know it takes, especially since he threw this dang gone blind spot deck at me.
Well,
Oh,
Miles,
ooh. Oh,
he was challenging me there for a while.
oh, I got it. Hmm. Okay. So at one point, um, there was something, right? The, this thing, this being, this entity, this spirit, this human, this thing that was living rent free in your head. It was breaking your heart. This thing that you thought you had to carry around, this energy that wasn't yours. You weren't at first realizing that all you needed to do was ask for help. Now, when I say that, I literally mean you got the short term thinking sigil, right? The sigil is about that situation where, oh, I'm just gonna go over this mountain. It ain't gonna do nothing because I said all I got to do is climb it. That's all I got to do is climb it. No, no. Oh, well, those that want to take the shortcuts in life, yeah, they got to climb it. But if you actually want to achieve something, you have to go through it. When you're going through hell, keep going. That mountain ain't shit when you're actually going through hell at some point in your life. So the help me is in reverse. And when I look at that as the scab part of this reading, it would appear that you would have been one of them because of this sigil being on top of it, saying that it is now becoming something that you're not scared to do, right? So this short term thinking isn't in reverse, but it is in a place where you're now realizing that you can't just keep climbing the same mountain and getting the same results over and over again, no matter how many times you keep trying. When you're the only one that's trying, no one is helping you, it's never going to matter how many times you climb that mountain. They're not going to see it. They don't actually care. It's when you stopped realizing that now, not necessarily because you also got paired with breaking free, but it's in the upright position, right? So you are learning, you're understanding. So the honor and the shame, that is kind of beautiful because it tells me that you have accepted the challenge, right? You don't want to sugarcoat it. You do not, will not, you cannot honor the energy that you have carried for that situation anymore. So it's at this time that you now realize that I must find a way to go through this situation, no matter how bad it hurts. I must now disappoint them. I must now um, let them down. I can't let me down. I can't keep climbing a mountain for them. And they are not, no matter what it is, no matter how long you've been carrying it, you can't keep doing it when it comes to actually pushing through and allowing change to come. The energy of all of this, what you are learning through this huge learning process that you're going through, you got sixth of winter. Sixth of winter is about understanding that there is going to be losses as you heal. It's because you're going to realize that not everybody's meant to be in your future. Not everybody is going to continue to be allowed to have the energy that they are vampiring from you. You're going to start, even if it's slowly, winging them off, so to speak. Eventually, you give a person enough rope, they will hang themselves. You ask the universe enough times to take a mask off, well, eventually it's going to happen. You have to start realizing there are going to be people, places, things, objects you must lose in order to shed that skin. And it is not easy. Let me tell you, I have walked around in that shame for years for people that aren't even still alive. I'm not kidding you. And when we finally start realizing how deep that wound really was, we can start loving that disowned part of us again. So you do understand there is light. You do see that light at the end of the rainbow now. And that is freaking amazing. And that's what I got for you, sweetie.
For those that have joined us, thank you and welcome in. Remember to subscribe to Hershey. She's 17 away from 800. And our next reading
Ross.
is Rossi.
Thanks for reading that off. You're welcome, babe. Remember, guys, take everything that resonates. What doesn't, leave it behind. Let somebody else have it. It could be a lifesaver. Ooh, ooh, oh. Really?
So, Rossi,
Really? Sorry.
for the
Go ahead.
wound, we have the Seven of Cups, confusion. So, maybe things weren't always laid out clear. Maybe you didn't know the rules of the game, or the rules of the game kept changing all the time. So it was a dynamic situation, and um, things were very confusing to you, and um, you you couldn't anticipate where to go because there were all these landmines in your way. Um, the Fester is the reverse Six of Wands. So you couldn't be victorious because um, you, there were all these landmines set for you, and no matter which direction you went, it was fraught with peril. And the the landscape was just landmines all over.
Really?
You couldn't walk forward in any one direction for fear of hitting a landmine. So you had to step carefully and inspect things. It was almost like what they say, walking on eggshells. And what'll help cauterize your wounds is when you find your awakening genius. So when you after you go through those landmines long enough, you can spot them 10 steps away, and you can sidestep them and circumvent them, but it still doesn't mean that you're going forward um, with any great speed, because you're always getting sidetracked just a little bit. You you shoot the arrow at the target, and a big gust of wind comes and drifts you off. So that's what I have for the conscious side, and that's your when you find your awakening genius, you can cauterize those wounds and start to heal. And that's on the conscious side. So we're ready for
So,
Hershey.
yeah, I'm coming. Sorry. There's a lot in here. There's a lot to take in here, right? Like I should have known that Miles was gonna add 522 cards, right? So this is more like a big picture kind of situation, right? So it there's no sense in me breaking this down any other way but to say that the work that you have done on yourself. Mm, I mean, I'm looking for a journal prompt here, and I'm never one to say that everything is always healed. Maybe it is at some point, but I don't know. Don't know. Depends on how deep the wounds are, I guess. There are things that you do overcome. You work out, but what I can tell you is that Miles has 7 cards. There's only one card that is, kind of basically the tie of what's going on in all 7 of these cards. There's only one card that didn't come out in the craziest of pairing positions, right? So in the blind spot, 2 of them came out, right? So 18 fell in reverse and 34 fell in reverse. The um what should be the last card, if I'm looking at it this way, is in reverse. I'm just looking at the tiebreaker here because the other 3 are all 3 upright. So in theory, there's 4 of them upright out of 7. So the odds are definitely in your favor if you're a gambling kind of person situation, right? So, and there's also a freak ton of 8s going on in this spread. So if you and 8s got a thing going on, like I can't help but notice them because like they're just kind of popping and shining in my face. But there's something that doesn't shock you anymore. And I don't know if it's just about mankind, if it's just about your family, your job, your coworkers, or you just realize that life is just, right? And yeah, it's an incomplete sentence. It's up to you to fill it in with the rest of how it goes. How is life to you? Life is just what to you, right? So I guess that could be a good journal prompt because what I'm going to tell you is that 18 and 34, but with 18 being in reverse, what 18 in reverse in the blind spot tells me. Oh, I lost my spot. Hold on, here it is. So 18 in reverse, in the upright position, it would tell me that there is something you are heavily avoiding, right? Like you have no way, no want, no shape, no how. You avoid it at all costs, no matter what it is, right? But it's in reverse. So that means you finally kind of are, and like I said, I'm looking at the shock card with that. Like you're just not quite so shocked about some stuff anymore, right? Like you have learned to face a lot of things head on because people that avoid things, they do it to a point where they don't even realize they're doing it, right? So for this to be in reverse, this is very much a person that just stops and says, you know what? I can't look past that anymore. I can't accept that anymore. I can't avoid that anymore. It is either so bad on my nerves or was because being in reverse means that you probably already went through all the heavy parts of it, the emotional part, because like I said, it's paired with 34. And 34 is that you are running away from emotions. Well, that one's in reverse. So again, let me remind you, this is another emotion that you have in check. So it is no longer blind spots for you. And the other one that I really should be reading last, I'm going to switch it up just a little bit here. This one is the spring of night, right? So when you think about and I got to get the light just right here. Hold on. And I lost my spot. Shit. It's about like being misunderstood, like okay, let me get the word out here. Underestimated. It's in reverse. So people that maybe kind of at one point maybe have took your kindness for weakness, that's not what happens anymore, right? Because you have learnt with all 3 of these cards and the overall energy being shocked, you have found a way to not be shocked no more. Not by mankind, not by life, not by people that you love. You have found a lot of acceptance for things, whether you like it or not. You can love something to death, but you ain't got to like it. You ain't got to like a damn thing about it to love it and want it to be free and blessed and gone about its way and be on its day and out your face, out your way. That's every one of us. That's what we want. We just want to be happy and be on our way, right? So when I look at the gain part of this and it's all in the upright position, what I can tell you is that it's the elephant rat. This is wise resourcefulness. Then you get bear, which is a grandmother, mother kind of energy. This is courage and introspection. So this is a mother bear with her cubs, and this one over here looks like that old hermit card over there, or possibly a shaman, someone very wise, a tribe leader, a little uh animal cluster king or whatever. And then the other one you get is a boar, and that's about finding fearlessness and strong protection. Like, I mean, I don't want to meet a boar head on anywhere. Trust me, I know enough about them. Can't take me snipe hunting. So you have gained so much by stopping being blind to a lot of situations. So whatever it is that you really choose life to be from this point on, I guess your journal prompt should be probably pretty amazing, but it should probably start with life is just. And that's what I've got for you.
Magic with Moonlight.
Huh?
Magic with Moonlight is next.
Okay. Hi, everybody coming in. If you guys make a donation to the channel, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Hey, PLR, what you doing?
Okay. They are here. So, your wound is the lovers. And so I feel that, you know, like everybody, we've been betrayed by a friend or a loved one at one time or another. And this hit you extra hard. And the wound caused by it is very heartfelt, because you thought, well, this is somebody who's supposed to love me. This is somebody who picked me to be loved by them, and then I was dishonored by some kind of betrayal. So that that's a wound to the heart, and hearts can go on beating even though they're broken, and it takes courage to take on another relationship of the same kind. The fester is the Queen of Swords. So I think that the words that this person spoke to you were very biting and very hard, and cut you to the quick. And that it does leave scars on the outside, and it leaves scars on the inside. And sometimes scars aren't visible to other people. Sometimes we wear our scars out and proud. Sometimes the scars are hidden. Um, and that's sort of like maybe a mistreated spouse. Um, so your cauterized card is called Broken Open. And so you have to be broken open, and just have that guttural cry. I mean, you've got to feel the feels and get out all the emotion, because it is full of emotion for you. And once you cry that nasty cry, those acid tears, and your makeup's streaming down your face, and you you've gone through all the tissues in the box, and you wake up the next morning, and tomorrow's another day. And do you have the courage to get out of bed and go on with that day? Or are you going to revel in that sadness and just stay in bed immobilized? And that's what we have on the conscious side.
Okay. So this is one of those sigils that, when you first hear it, you want to call bullshit on it, right? I get this one so much, and this is a deck that, trust me, you're almost gonna need your master's degree. I'm not kidding you. You got to have some kind of real life experiences, some real shit you pulled yourself out of the gutter with, or just some knowledge, right? And that kind of knowledge don't really come from a book, but I guess there are those that can get the gist of it if that's all they've got is book knowledge. But when it comes to truly knowing what it is to stand inside the true you, to know your honest goodness is something that not everybody understands, right? They can understand it a little bit, and what I'm saying is that not everybody understands their worth. Not everyone can stand in front of a mirror and be completely naked with their self. They get uncomfortable. They get to judging themselves. They get to wondering, well, why does my second toe look longer than any other toe on my foot? Or why do I have a beauty mark on my belly, right next to my belly? Aren't they supposed to be on your face somewhere? Or why does my birthmark look like this? Or why they get to judging themselves, right? No matter how old we get, we eventually grow out of it because there are things about me I thought I would never ever get, like I would always critique or criticize or judge, right? But I am starting to learn not just my worth, but my value. I'm starting to understand that I am deserving. I am willing to accept blessings no matter how they come in life. I'm not one to judge anymore so quickly, for I don't want to be judgmental. I don't want to be opinionated, right? So I try to be a pretty good person nowadays. I had that kind of life where I wasn't always the greatest of people. So those that have known me the longest will say I have changed a lot. So your sigil is number 12, and that's your goodness. So it is in the upright position. So this is things are still inside that subconscious and that unconscious that you just, the subconscious and the unconscious, yes, that you just still aren't 100% owning, right? And that's okay because we don't always have to understand it right now. Sometimes it'll make sense down the road when it gets triggered, and then we're like, oh, well, shit, I didn't even know that was there. How did that happen? How did whatever they said or whatever that happened or whatever they did, how did that trigger me to react like that? I've never done that before. Those are those emotions that we pack down so deeply we don't think about them. And then when it comes time to face ourselves with people that maybe always saw our goodness, but we didn't always see the goodness in ourselves. So maybe we didn't accept what they were offering. We thought it was maybe too good to be true, or maybe it was the good guy or good girl always finishes last in that situation. I've been there before too. Don't know why, but sometimes I don't always see my goodness. I don't always think that I'm deserving of something, right? But the greatest part of this for you is that they paired it with midnight and it's in the upright position. So, what that tells me is that in this sigil, in this deep rooted emotional baggage that's carried around with all of us that have trauma or have been working through traumas, you understand that because we choose to stay a magwai, we don't eat after midnight. We don't get wet. We don't break the rules. We have self discipline. We don't want to change and be that damn ugly ass gremlin we used to be. We done did that so many times. But we finally found our inner self again. We found our inner gizmo. We are back to our little magwai spiritual oneness with ourself. So remember that when it comes to those parts of you that you're still learning, just be gentle with yourself. But remember that part of us is going to need discipline. It's going to have to be in check. So you have to get the emotion out. You have to believe it. You have to own it. It's there. So the fifth summer is about drama, right? So drama, and it's in the upright position. So it's just like, oh shit, here I go again. Here I go again. Either I done got caught up in someone else's shit, or someone took what I said wrong, and now there's this or that, or it's just drama you're always having in your head. It can come from a lot of different ways, but drama is drama. But when they paired it and the card came sideways, so sideways means that it is deep within there, but it's also possible. That possibility is always within all of us, but we have to understand that we have to face our own conflict within ourselves. So you got this cute little creature, right? But he came out sideways. And I don't know how to say the little thing, but it's Chimera. Chimera. I don't know. So we got. I think that's a like a ram head, lion head. Uh, I don't. I'm not quite sure what's going on here. It's beautiful though. It's wonderful artwork. Love the artwork, but it's sideways, right? So that's that inner conflict, that chaos, right? And then it's paired with the energy of this fifth, right? So this fifth summer is about that dang gone drama. It's always there. It's always in our head. You have to remember that that chaos can be controlled. You can get it in a place where that inner child doesn't throw them temper tantrums anymore, because that's really all that's happening. You have to give that emotion a place. It was valid when it happened. Although it's not happening right now physically because you're much older now, it's still an inner child issue that happened when you were becoming the person that you are. It's one of those life experiences that we do just have to freaking accept about ourselves. If somebody is going to love us, they're going to love us for who we are, not what our meat suit looks like. That shit's temporary anyway. And it's changeable. Trust me, I'm a brunette. I've never been a blonde in my entire life. You can change and be how you want to be seen. You can finally rip yourself apart and put yourself back together. And that's literally the best part of all of it. And that's what I got for you.
Hershey, what month did we take our cruise last year?
November.
It was that late. Play Love Remember is
Yeah.
talking about a Bahamas cruise that she went on, or they went on.
Oh, wow. Nice. They're
Hershey got to
wonderful.
spend.
I can't wait to go. I'm ready to go again.
We got to meet up with
Well,
Rossi
not
in
financially. I'm just saying
Key
spiritually
West,
wise. I'm ready.
and Hershey got to swim with the sea turtle.
I did. I got to swim with my spirit animal. It was amazing. And he was huge, or she. Maybe it was a she. She was huge. Huge.
Angie
Giant.
Burke. Angie, so your moon This is Seven of Pentacles. Something required patience, and I think maybe you jumped the gun on it. You couldn't, you didn't have the discipline for the patience, and to let things come as they may. Um, I think you rushed things along. What made it fester? The Nine of Wands, the embattled warrior. You showed up day after day after day, out of a sense of duty, and um, you stood there defending your position, what was important for you, and you took barrage after barrage of attacks. And even though your head's bandaged and you're standing in front of the castle, you show up anyway, day after day after day. What can help you cauterize your wound? Out of the Oracle of the Seven Energies, great big love. So once you find your passion, passion doesn't have to be a person, it can be a thing or an endeavor or an artistic creation of yours. When you find that, then you can cauterize those wounds that you have, and start to heal.
So from what it looks like right here, there's you know when we waver, it's not like a for me, for you, or for someone else. It may be a real common word they use a lot, but for me, it's not a real big word that's in my vocabulary. So I kind of needed to read just a little bit about what they're saying as an author, right? So this was at that moment that I was just kind of skimming, and I was noticing that I actually had a lot of highlighted areas on this part, right? And I'm like, well, it's not highlighted once, but shit, it's highlighted 3 times. So I'm going to read those parts that are highlighted 3 times. You are staying safe, but you are also staying stuck. By having no stance, changing your stance, or not defending yourself, you may be refusing to settle on a decision, refusing to commit, staying stuck in limbo, being wishy washy, being two faced, or tilted, whichever way the wind blows for you. No matter which way you look at it, you are not being solid with something inside a situation that you are struggling with. You need to let it go. You can be solid on the other side of this. So I had to sit with that for a minute because they paired it with obsession, but obsession is in reverse. And in reverse, it says that by the music of your design, this will be triumphant. So you know this could become something, but you haven't realized it yet. You are working through it. There is something that you're understanding differently though, right? It's not that you disown this part about you. It's not that you are in fear of it because it's in reverse. So the danger, the secrecy, the fear, they're all in reverse. So you already have gained something about this. This part of wavering, of not understanding just quite right, where you should be obsessing about this part of your life instead of letting it be stale, stagnant. You also need to understand that it will always get greater later. Learning to overcome fear and not allowing it to become irrational anymore. There's nothing wrong with having a natural fear. Shit, I'm scared of spiders. It's a natural fear. But I don't allow it to get irrational. Well, I guess depending on the size of the spider, it could get quite irrational. But let's not talk about that. I don't allow those traumas from my childhood get quite so triggering anymore. It's one that creeps up on me that I don't even realize, or I had forgotten I was still carrying that shit, and I kind of hits me out of nowhere every once in a while, you know. But I deal with it right then and there. I have to. I can't carry it. I'm not strong enough anymore. I have to be strong enough for me, and in order to do that, I have to let go of every single burden that was ever meant to just to destroy me. So remember that it will always become something much more than is seen right now. And that's what I got for you, sweetie.
Angie, your third card was called Great Big Love, and that was your cauterized card.
Where are we at on the list, bro?
Let's see, we're on I Am Lulu. Maruda just put another list up for you.
All right, hold on. Let me look. Come on. This touch screen. All right. Sorry, I'm not reading all in the comments and everything, guys, but I appreciate you guys being here, and Thomas and I greatly appreciate you hanging out with us.
When you see my eyes go this way, I'm reading the comments off the TV because I'm on a telephone and I can't read comments on the phone.
Yep, they understand. He's keeping up with comments because I cannot. So, okay. So this is for Lulu, right?
Yeah. So Lulu, your wound is the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, and so that is a card of, when it's in reverse, it's a card of not enough resources. So you may have um, you may have always been on a tight budget or monetary constraints, and just a lot of opportunities or buffering. A lot of opportunities may not have been there for you. Okay, so I think my chat stalled and I'm buffering on the TV. So we'll keep going, and they'll let us know.
Okay.
Um, so let's see. Your festering card is the 8. How much you worked. There we go. We're unbuffering now. Um, so your first card, your wound, was the Nine of Pentacles, which was operating out of a financial lack. Maybe enough funds weren't there for you to do everything that you wanted. Maybe your base needs were met, but there wasn't a lot left over for the nice things in life. And then your fester card is the 8 of Pentacles, and so that's work. So no matter how much um, you worked and you worked and you worked, and you just couldn't quite get out of that lacking state. Your work just didn't seem to pay off, no matter how hard you worked, and that can cause some real big issues. When you work and you don't see any gain from it, um, it just seems like you're spinning your wheels and everything is, you know, fruitless. Um, how you cauterize things is the spirit of gratitude. And the spirit of gratitude is, you know, when you lay down at night or when you wake up in the morning, say 3 things that you're grateful for. If you've got your journal with you, make sure you write down the things that you're grateful for, because um, some things that you're grateful for are monetary. The things that are not monetary and are more precious are friendships and relationships, and noticing the beautiful nature around you, whether it be a butterfly or a dragonfly, or maybe you like to watch the birds, or just go barefoot in the grass. All those things you can be grateful for. And that's what's going to help cauterize your wounds, is develop that spirit of gratitude. And that's what we have unconscious in for you.
So, looking at everything that I see from what I'm looking at here, I can kind of appreciate. So, um, everything came out in the reverse position, right? So just picture all the cards in reverse. I'm going to show them to you upright so that you can visually see the sigil, visually see the card, and understand what the card would be in the upright position. But just know that in this, well, 3, sorry, the 4th one came out in the upright. So again, this tells me that on my part in the subconscious, it's not that you have blind spots, because in this case, it's not a blind spot. You're well aware of this, right? Now, were you the one that was doing it, or were you the one that was receiving it? You're the only one that's going to know that. You're the only one that ever has to know that, until you may have to one day take ownership for something. But you're the only one that has to know that, right? So the sigil that I got for you is gaslighting, right? And sometimes it's us. Sometimes we are the ones that got, right? It's paired with devil in reverse. So again, this tells me that you have got a lot of things worked out. You have got a lot of self-discipline. You've got a foundation that you built. You've got a way that you now are heard, a way that you are now seen, and you understand that. Now, I'm not saying that's what's every single part of us. We're never, I can't honestly say that from my perspective that every human is 100% ever cured, fixed, or will be. Trauma is trauma. It is there as long as we carry it. The day we stop carrying it is the day it is no longer there. Well, we don't even have ownership of it now, so what do we keep talking about it for? Sometimes when we get that way, we finally understand. So the sigil is number 69, and that is the gaslighting card, and the energy of it is the devil. But again, both of these are in the reverse position. The winter night. The winter night is about not having reservations, but again, yours is in reverse. You no longer have daggers in your back or in your heart. You don't have reservations about things that you used to. You understand them exactly for what they are. You're still going to have to deal with life as it comes on life's terms and all of that other things. And we're still going to have those things that pop up in our life that we don't realize. So don't worry about them as you go. Just know they're always going to be there until they aren't. And that's the day you let them go and you stop carrying them. Even if they're dead and gone, it doesn't matter. It's time to let some things go. And you knew this and you do this. So they're no longer blind spots. So I'm very happy to see that. What is it that you have learnt through the healing that you have allowed to happen to your head and your heart? The experiences that you gained, you understand that they come slow, but they come steady. You found something sacred within you. You found your turtle. You matched with a spirit animal. You matched with someone that always wins the race. Always stay positive. Always go forward. Always remember that you will get there. Doesn't matter how fast you go, your path, your road, your direction, your destiny. It's not meant for anyone else, so don't try to keep up with them. Who knows? You might see them broke down on the side of the road someday. Slow and steady will always win the race. And that's what I got for you.
So things that are immediate that give us immediate pleasure are those dopamine receptors. It's immediate gratification, and those dopamine hits, we're wired to crave them. And the things that give us the dopamine hits can later turn out to be those addictions, you know, gambling, smoking, sex, the recreational kind. Those those are immediate gratification dopamine hits. What we want and strive for are things that give us serotonin, and those are lasting things, like the feeling of safety, the feeling of love, the feeling of commitment, those those long-term things that stay with us. And serotonin regulates the system so you don't have or crave those things that become later that might become addictions. So go for the long game and not the short game. Judith Anderson is next.
Did we do Joe G?
Oh no, we didn't. Joe G's next. Sorry.
We got, yeah, Joe G, then Judith, then the Fabled Witch, and
He,
PLR.
Joe Joe's hidden behind my comments. Sorry, Joe.
Yep.
Brother Joe. So your wound is the moon. Hidden intuition. So maybe the agenda was not clearly written out for you, and you were kept in the dark about things, and you weren't given enough information to let your intuition help guide you along, because you were gaslit or kept in the dark or just not informed of some situations. And what festers is the Nine of Cups in reverse. So it's not at your current point, but in the past, that you may have felt a lack of safety and love and a sense of belonging to maybe a family unit. But now that I know you, I know that's not the case at the moment, that you are a happy family man. What what's going to cauterize your wounds? Sacred reverence. So finding that person or those people or those things that you hold dear in your heart, you hold reverence for. And when you hold reverence for something, you place it on a pedestal or an altar, and you give it its space, and you worship, and you see the gratitude in those things that provide reverence in your life. And that's on the conscious side. See, my things are easy. She's got the shadow work. She's got the healing. So it takes her a while to get that message out.
So, hmm. So your sigil is 28. 28 is triangulation, right? Right. So that's your sigil. The energy of it is harvest, but harvest is in reverse. So, real quick on the keywords of harvest, because it's what kind of makes sense of what I'm about to say, right? So, when harvest is in reverse, it's about conflict that you sow. Not Tom, not Dick, not Harry, not the cat down the road. Not your mama, not your kids. This was inside of you, right? Now, when did it happen? I think it happened very, very, very long ago. I don't think that it's happening now. I just think that because it happened then, it's consciously affecting you now. But I do believe that it is deeply rooted in your subconscious. I believe that it is something that you do not understand because there is manipulation involved with this sigil. With harvest being in reverse, it means that yes, what's happening consciously in your life right now, you could change. You could possibly make it right. Why do I say that? Because you got third of summer. Third of summer is the call to action card. It's literally get up and do it or you're going to lose it. You can't keep doing what you're always doing and think you're going to get something other than what you've always got. Sorry. Not when it comes to something that happened then a long time ago that you're still hurting from. You're still carrying it. It's not going to ever be something you can always just get over, no matter how many times you're just saying pacifying words to get over it again, to get over it again. Those quickies ain't going to get it no more. The longevity, it's in reverse. You have to go through it. The things that you currently cannot see because they're so deeply rooted is that you are meant to realize that you or the people that you love are trying to convince you or use against you something from your past to create a triangle against you. Now, whether you like it or not, accept it or not, it's not common tactics for the social part of this to become manipulation. But when needed, it can be used to create conflict. You, with the harvest being in reverse, that could be affecting your present life situation, but it's because you're not taking into action yet. This is in the upright position. That is the call to action. Something must change. You want longevity. You want that forever and ever and ever happy, far, far away kind of situation. That never ending love story, or that job that is so secure, or the happiest, smartest kids, or whatever the situation is. You want better for better people, but you have to really want better for yourself. And it has to show, because when it shows, then other people are going to start seeing it and they're going to want to know what you did to do it. You look so good. And you don't have to do anything but just start really working on that inner you that still has to understand that it's gentle enough to be manipulated. It has to be recognized. It has to be owned. You have to take accountability for everything that's happening now, because that part of you is still wounded just a little bit. And that's what I got for you.
Judith Anderson is next. And if we
Judith.
just add Benjamin to the end of this list, it'll be the final list. Benjamin Piercy.
Okay.
You're welcome, Joe. Hi, Judith. Thank you for letting us know that you're here. Judith, your wound. Our Seven of Swords. Our Thief card. So something was taken from you, and it deeply hurt you. You know, we try to protect the things that are near and dear to us, but sometimes they can be taken out from underneath us, and not for lack of vigilance. You know, sometimes the wolf will grab a sheep, even though the sheepdog is there minding the flock. It sometimes the flock strays and one gets away, and something's vulnerable. The fester, you got another conflict card. You got the Five of Wands. So you just keep getting into quarrels or little spats, and it just seems that you, you can't just mind you mind your own business, but people around you won't let you go on your happy way. They got to pop up and cause conflict all the time. And it's those energy thieves, it's those energy vampires, it's those gossiping people at work that um, can't keep their mind on their work. Always got to stir the pot. So it's a tough place to be in because those things are nagging and niggling all the time on us. Um, what can help you cauterize the wound is the Queen of Cups. So if you get in a league with another strong woman, um, she can help you. You can use her as an ally. Maybe you have to go to the friend HR and get rid of those backbiting people at work. You gotta report them. You may have to be vigilant and um, you know document CYA as a matter of course, just to get on and help cauterize the wounds. And that's what I have on the conscious side.
So with just a couple few moments that I had there was a couple of spots that really jumped out at me, right? So I don't know how to say the word, so I feel like this is a word that I probably always have to ask. But okay, so the sigil is number 41, and the word is spelled Chicanery. I have no idea how to say that word.
Is that chicanery?
Chicanery? Okay, we'll go with that, I guess. All right, so as I was looking at it, the energy of it is trickster, and trickster is in reverse. And well, holy cow, we all got a trickster in us, right? We all got a devil and an angel on our shoulder. We all know how the old folky, wisey stuffy goes, right? We all have, and we all are capable of that kind of energy. So, with that being said, the part they wanted me to point out was that because yours is in reverse, you finally realize that you don't have to be socially anxious anymore. You don't have to overcompensate anymore. You have learned deep down that you no longer have to be prejudiced, prejudging, or otherwise have a lack of having an opinion about something, regardless of what someone else may think about you. You found that voice inside of you that needed to be heard by you. Didn't have to be heard by anyone else. It will be seen by the way you carry yourself. And understanding, getting that old you, that trickster energy in check, that spontaneous joking, always wanting to be willing to be a fool, but always taking it too far, being a damn fool sometimes. Why do I say that? Because the Summer Queen. Now, when I see this, this is about knowing that everything that happens right now in your present, it's because it was meant to. Because the Summer Queen, it's about knowing that everything is deep in them roots. You just got to clean the weeds out, and you got to seriously work on getting all of the weeds out, even the ones that may have creepy freaking spider webs or something that you're really scared of. You're gonna have to find a way to truly get that like Pandora box open. You got to deal with it. You must go through it. It's the only way to truly heal from it all the way. You have to want it to be seen within you. And then it will help you understand that you don't have to lack anything about you. You don't have to be prejudgmental about what something or someone is going to perceive you or think you or see you, because they're going to see you exactly how you want to be seen. So you do understand that this is where you are in your life, and it's a spot that you're learning to work on. So that is definitely a good thing. You got cow, which is about prosperity and abundance. So you actually kind of know this, and you tell your story probably more often than you thought you ever would in your life, right? Because let me tell you, I've told so many stories about me on this channel. It is just crazy how many times I have just said some stupid shit. But it wasn't because I was scared of what you guys were gonna think of me. It was me showing you guys that it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to be transparent. It's okay to look at something that happened 30 years ago, 35 years ago, 20 years ago, when I was a teenager. It's okay to look at that stuff and say, good Lord, boy, I had a hell of a teenage life, or I had a hell of a youth, or I had a hell of a pre-adult life. Those experiences, even if they were bad, you got through 100% of them because you're here right now getting a read from me. So it was meant to maybe take you down. It was maybe meant to keep you down, but it didn't. No. Nah, I started cleaning them roots out, and it realized it couldn't take me out. All I got to do is keep them roots clean and keep digging and keep learning and keep gaining the knowledge that is in my ancestors, that is in my own belief system, my faith system. Growing to love me and you growing to love you will be ultimately the best shield of protection against everything that is meant to come as a trickster clown. You'll recognize it coming from a mile away. You won't fall for it next time, or you stop falling for it. So that's what I meant to say. You won't fall for it next time. Well, obviously, you won't fall for it next time because you now recognize what the energy is, because you have found prosperity within yourself. You have found abundance. You realize you can't get it from out there, you got it from within. So you honor it, you tell your story, keep doing it, keep giving yourself away, because you're a pretty good inspirational kind of person, is from what it looks like. And that's what I got for you.
Judith, I'm sorry that that happened to you in your job, but I've been fired from many jobs, and at the time it didn't feel good, but it always opened a door for something better for me. Um, just if you're still looking, you know, network and make it be known that you're looking for something better. And it sounds like it was a toxic work environment anyway, with all those shenanigans going on. Um, yes, it sucks. Um, and being a man, as much as a man that I am, um, a lot of my worth is tied up in what I did. And when I'm not employed or doing something of use, um, I'm just set adrift. So heal, try to move on. Hopefully, the next place is so much better and not that toxic work environment. The fabled witch, are you still here? You are here. Thank you for sticking around. I know these get long and lengthy. Um, what's what your wound is we have the Page of Cups in reverse. Now, the Page of Cups has dipped his cup in the waters and has brought up a fish. Well, this is not a fish to eat. This is a fish that smells fishy. Um, so it's a, it was something that was a surprise. You weren't expecting to dip your cup in the water and bring out a fish. Um,
Mm.
that's the wound. It was just unexpected. It came from the blue. Um, there's no way you could have prepared for it. Um, it was probably life shattering, if not just life altering for you. Um, the fester was broken promises, the Page of Wands in reverse. So people promised you something and they couldn't fulfill or go through with their promises, and you were kind of left to go it alone. And going it alone is just that. It feels lonely. It's like sometimes it sucks to move on. It would be better to distribute the work with other people, but you just had to shoulder the burden yourself. And what's going to cauterize your wound? Well, you're kind of set adrift. This is called the uncharted sea. So it's taking that risk and going places where nobody has gone before. There's no maps, there's no charts, which is a sea map. You just open your sails and set adrift, and trust that the universe has your back, and that will help cauterize the wounds and help you heal. And that's what we have on the conscious side.
So I got 73 for you, and it's in reverse. So it is something that you have learned to recognize within yourself. So I'll show you in the upright position so you can see the sigil for what it is. Oh, I hate the lighting around here. But it's paired with the energy of face. And face is realizing, and I freaking love it. Face says that you have earned your scars and you no longer hide them, right? So that's the overall energy of what 73 is. 73 is shapeshifter. This is how they describe it as you want the truth of you to be free, but you know that it's potentially could cause a situation or bring one at hand. So you don't need to have it in your blind spot. So you'd rather control it instead. You become a master of blind spots for other people. You become a perception of you keeping them focused on something so that you can focus on other things or not let them see what you're really focused on. You keep them distracted. You are a shapeshifter. So, because it is in the reverse position, this tells me, paired with the energy of face, that maybe a part of you used to be, because trust me, there is some shit in my background that I used to manipulate, connive, control, blackmail, all to my advantage. I am not proud of it, but it is part of who I used to be. It's not who I am anymore, though. So, learning to be honest with yourself, taking your ownership, with this being in the reverse position, this is one of those things you maybe found that you were doing somewhere in your past. And maybe even somewhere along the way, there's something that you could be doing right now, and you're conscious that it is or was still affecting. And you have now found a way to realize that that part of you no longer needs to be that way. I can just be me now. because it's in the reverse position. That tells me that you do want to not have those blind spots. And every once in a while, you do that self check just to make sure that there is no blind spots hitting you from a spot that you can't see. It's paired with all of that is paired with the energy. So the um the honor that you've gained, the fourth of spring, is kind of wonderful because it says that it's really gonna be a normal day once you free that space up, right? So again, it's in the reverse position, but it's about freeing up space so that you can have a normal day on your path at your speed, gaining it your way. So you know that you do have a light at the end of your tunnel. You're just not quite all the way staying quite right. I mean, you're not bleh. You're staying focused and all of that, but your freedom card and your justice card is in reverse. So I'm getting them. I'm trying not to blend them together. So you do understand your path, right? But sometimes you do get distracted heavily, and knowing that there is a chance that your ego could be causing a distraction instead of helping you gain justice is the reason that sometimes we don't always accept the truth the first time for what it is. So make sure that when you're working on that truth, it is exactly what it is. Truth and ownership kind of go hand in hand. And but you are on your path. So remember that there is a way for you to keep everything open and free, but just kind of remove the distractions as much as you can. And that's what I got for you. My words got so twisted in that. My apologies. Well,
Thank you
on
all
the
for
pipe.
sticking in with us. I know we're running a little long today. We've got two left: Play Love Remember and Benjamin Piercy. You're welcome, the Fabled Witch. She's thank they're thanking us.
You're welcome, guys. Love you, Gems.
If you haven't subscribed to Hershey, please remember to do so. She's, as of earlier today, she was 17 away from 800. She's doing so great. I really have been a champion for her. She's come a long way. You've come a long way, baby.
Aw, thank you, bro.
Let's see. Play Love Remember is here. Thank you for doing a comment so we see you. So what's your wound? Oh, Play Love Remember. You got probably the second worst card in the deck, the Ten of Swords. So you've been betrayed. Um, you know, Caesar being daggered in the Senate, and it just is brutality. But and if you look hard enough, you'll see that the person in the 10 is the Hierophant that's been murdered. Um, and it may not then be a physical stabbing in the back, but it's character assassination, I think. And character assassination, once once you've been compromised like that, you're it's hard to gain anyone's trust, even though character assassination is not always um, just or relevant. The character assassination is a bunch of trumped up charges by a bunch of busybodied people that just want to cause spite and malice. Uh, what festers at things are, we've done the Queen of Pentacles reversed. So what festers at things for you are very strong-willed people that can manipulate a situation and um, bulldoze the situation. And it's not always something that you can overcome. You know, when you're laying, you've already got the swords in your back and you're on the ground, and now the bulldozer runs over you. And it's it's hard to get up off the ground after being beaten down twice. What can cauterize the wound for you? You got the Oracle card, Beyond the Ordinary. So you have to come up with something extraordinary to get out of the situation. It's just, you know, the normal things won't help the situation. You've been um, beat up, run over, and dragged through the mud. So to cauterize your wound, you know, you got to get up. You got to somehow either bathe or jump into the river and um, get the wounds clean. But when you find that extraordinary thing, um, it'll leave its imprint in you and on you, and you will become extraordinary. And that's what I have for you on the conscious side.
So I got disconnection for you. Disconnection is sigil 67 and it's in reverse. So this is wonderful because it tells me that it is a scar. It's no longer a scab. But this is one of those that disconnection, sometimes we are so disconnected, we don't even know we're disconnected. We have no clue because we are positive, we are uplifting, we are always this and we are always that, and we are woo woo woo, and we are always ready to. Mm-mm, 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 mm-mm. We have to find inspiration to truly want to get out there, to be inspired, to be something that's worthy of meeting the future self of us. And you finally did that. You finally found that part of you, that inner you, that trauma you that had found some kind of off and on switch when it comes to this part of that humanities, and you disconnected from it and you didn't even know about it because you kept going. Eventually you forgot all about it. Eventually it became nothing because a unchecked version you was leading the way. A version of you that couldn't connect really to anything and never really was connected to anything because you shut that part of you off. And it wasn't until you went back and realized and said, oh, that's what that disconnection meant. But yours is in reverse. So I just want to say that disconnection is really long. It's like 2 pages long. But the part Miles wants me to read is this right here. That in reverse, you found this sigil because you no longer are asking why you were disconnected. You found a calling to bring into a transition out of a state that used to have you disconnected, but now you are connected and conscious. You have learned to reestablish your connection that whatever you once was, you no longer are because you're now disconnected from that version of you and connected and plugged into this version of you right now so that you can stay present. It's paired with the energy of dance. Dance means that you are actually at the spot where the music is being played. You're not just sitting there in the chair listening to it. Mm-mm. No, you're not sitting in a park, you're dancing in a park. You're not just at the ocean, you're dancing at the shore. You're dancing in the sand. You're dancing in the rain. You're dancing under the stars and the moonlight and all of that goodness. You're understanding now. You're not disconnected. You're actually feeling. The other side of it is pelican, and that's about nurturing and self-sacrifice in a different way. You're not doing it for someone else's pleasure. You're now doing it for you because you now nurture you. The autumn night is about understanding that even though you're wounded, those scars are beautiful, they're earned. It's almost like you were in battle, but you were the one that had victory. You were the last one standing when it came to you facing you in the mirror, that younger version of you that you had to let express everything that hurt them, everything that was unheard, unseen, unfelt. You're finally seeing that. You will have more victories with a little bit of pain working through those shadows, and you know that now. But at least now the door is open to you and you are willing to see you and nurture that part of you. So that's a really good spot to be in when it comes to honoring what has happened to you, what you have been through, and what you have done to get through wherever you've been through to be here because you made it through 100% of all of it. And that's what I got for you.
Thank you for giving us validation, Hershey. A lot of these readings have resonated with people. I don't,
Oh, thank you.
we
Thank you.
say take what resonates and leave the chaff behind. It seems
Yeah.
that we're resonating tonight. And so thank you for verifying for us. Um, we like to have our ego stroked, but it's not about ego. And our last reading is Benjamin. I haven't seen the little Kansas City thing lately, but I'm sure he's still around because.
Biggins, are you still here?
And thank you for anybody who's given a wish list item or given a donation. And thank you, beautiful moderators. Rhoda, thank you. We couldn't have done it without you. Benjamin, just give a comment and say here. Let us know you're still here.
I'm sure he is. He's probably raiding the kitchen or some shit.
But we got to do that. I'm sure Rhonda's ready to come in. I let her out while we were backstage. Yep, Benjamin's here. Thank you, Benjamin. So we'll start out with your wound, Benjamin. We've got the Three of Wands in reverse. So this is waiting for your ship to come in. sometimes we're not at the dock when our ship comes in, and we're a day late and a dollar short, and sometimes opportunities pass us by. And even though we may think that it's a missed opportunity, uh, it's an opportunity for something else. We didn't miss the boat completely. Uh, although although boats do take off without people and there's pier runners, what festers things? Well, you got the Seven of Wands. And the Seven of Wands is like playing King of the Mountain. You have the position of the upper hand. You're the one at the top of the hill, but you've got all these other people um, doing their katanas or whatever, trying to knock you off the hill. And not just sometimes it's not just a friendly fight. They want to inflict damage. And you if you have to keep on defending yourself for a long time, that can tire one out and leave you fatigued, battle scarred. Um, what can cauterize your wounds? Well, you have to do some, let's see, what's the word? Obfuscation, because you got smoke and mirrors. So you actually have to plan and be sly as a fox and um, confuse and confound those people that want to take you down a peg. You've got to outmaneuver them. You got to think 10 moves ahead on the chessboard, uh, and uh, you know create diversions when actually you're luring luring in people into a pitfall or a trap. So you you got to be cunning and clever, and maybe not totally play above board, but we know that you got to be true to your own self. So if your own self, um, is honest in every way, you can't rely on smoke and mirrors to cauterize the wounds. You got to go through it um, truthful to your soul. And so that's what I have on the conscious side for you. Good luck, Benjamin. Yeah, she hides pretty good with that bucket hat there when she's down and concentrating on her cards.
Um, so I got 27. 27 is bubble, right? So it's in reverse, so that's a good thing, right? So even if it's something you're still currently working on, because they paired it with the energy of family, and having this in the upright position means that you play uh you know your role, you know your lane, you are productive in your family, your community, your life, you're active for yourself. You realize Mm, excuse me. You realize that you're not seeing truth one way, right? So as I was scanning kind of through the deck, um, if it would have been in the upright position, there would have been possibly a bunch of denial factors going on, but it's not. It's in the reverse position. So that means that there is a point in time where we just kind of grow up, right? And we realize that yeah, in at one point in our life we may have been in denial about that, but we already have accepted that. We've taken our ownership, right? Because all of that is paired with independence and intuition in the upright position. So yes, you again are probably one of those that have told a million stories of your past, the laughters, the good times, the bad times, the times that rocked, the parts that still rock on, and all of those in between. So you seem like a person that's pretty open. I'm not just saying it because I know you. I'm just saying what the cards are saying. They apparently seem to know you too, and you are a person that is willing to literally stand for something. You're not going to keep falling for things. You're not going to hold in to denial anymore. You're not going to not want to strive for a family and strive for what you want and what you stand for and those that you care and you love for. The spring equinox is about always knowing that you have to face the world head on. So, all of your cards that show the strength and that you've gained, the honor that you have when you tell your story, they're proud of the things that you've overcome, the things that were meant to tear you down. Knowing that the sigil is in reverse tells me that you don't live in a bubble somewhere. You don't have to worry about somebody busting your bubble and bringing you back to reality because you stay present, you stay in reality, you keep old you in check, and everything that you gained, you don't just hold it in. You realize you had it inside of you the whole time. You found that strength, and you continue to give it away because you're a pretty good person, and I'm sure you always will be a really good guy. And that's what I got for you.
And the cards I was reading with tonight, the tarot deck was the Radiant White Rider White, um, in a tin, tarot in a tin, and a Colette Baron Reed deck called the Oracle of the Seven Energies. And Hershey, it seems like we had a real good group tonight. They're fighters. They're very resilient, uh, and they're gonna make it.
Yeah, I know. It happens. It happens. It's the shadow, you know. It happens sometimes on Wednesdays.
So
No,
Hershey,
just ending.
Hershey, do you have scavenger hunt on Saturday or not?
No, not yet. I don't have one set up.
So
I'm
we'll
I'm
see.
gonna I'm gonna I'm gonna get the next one rolling here pretty soon. I don't have it yet, so I'm working on it. I'm gonna
So we'll
send
see
shoot out the
you
email
maybe on a pop up. But if not, then you've got Friday's fixtures
Yep,
scheduled for what 3 p.m. Friday Central Time.
4, 4,
Or
4, 4 Central. All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out because you hung out with us. I get a chance to know you guys, and you guys get a chance to know us. We love you. And yeah, they get a little long on Wednesdays, but you have to really be able to see through some of the stuff. So it takes me a second to kind of put it all together. And I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I love you guys, and we'll see you soon. Good night, everybody.
be kind to yourself, be kind to others. Go out and make it a great night.